Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. It's Wednesday, July 17th. You're watching News 2 on VIA Channel 4 and 504. I'm Leslie Camisiang. Topping our stories tonight, News 2 reported in a newscast in the month of May that Casino Control Commission Chairwoman Ann Golden locked herself in her office while a process server and a marshal waited outside in the lobby of her office to remove her from her position. A 2018 audit found that the Casino Commission was not effectively utilizing its resources to carry out its administrative functions in accordance with established laws, and recently Golden was indicted. News 2 reporter Stephanie Brown has more.
United States Attorney Gretchen C.F. Shepard for the District of the Virgin Islands announced today the indictment of Violette Ann Golden, the chairperson of the Virgin Islands Casino Control Commission until recently, and her lover, Stephanie Barnes, whom received a contract with the Casino Control Commission. There are 30 counts made against the woman with a variety of offenses, including conspiracy to commit theft from programs receiving government funds and money laundering. Both defendants made their initial appearances in federal court on St. Croix this morning. In documents released to News 2, Stephanie Barnes, who's the sister of sitting Senator Alicia Barnes, was a contractor of the commission from 2015 to 2018. Under the contract, Stephanie Barnes received over $450,000 in commission funds. The indictment documents show a number of line items that begin in 2015. There were $2,000 dinners expense charged to commission credit cards for dinners at the Savant restaurant, first-class trips to Las Vegas for nearly $10,000, car repairs for Stephanie Barnes equaling more than $5,000, over $14,000 reported for both Golden and Barnes and the person mentioned as HM to San Juan, Puerto Rico, $19,000 expensed in March through April in 2016 for a trip to Miami, along with travel advances, $10,000 of commission control funds for hotel stays at the Ritz-Carlton Hotel in Westchester, New York from July 15th to July 19th in 2016. Count 19 alleges also that funds from the Casino Control's youth account was also embezzled in the amount of $5,000 and sent in a wire transfer on January 18, 2017 to pay down on the commission's credit cards. The indictment comes on the heels of other federal embezzlement indictments being made on the neighboring territory of Puerto Rico. News 2 will keep you updated.
News 2 reached out to Senator Alicia Barnes for a statement, but no correspondence was provided by Newstime. The Casino Commission was created in 1995 as casino gambling became legalized in an effort to spur hotel development on mainly St. Croix. Meanwhile, we have a growing list of lawmakers returning or donating money from Southern Trust Company, an EDC company owned by billionaire and accused child molester Jeffrey Epstein. On Tuesday, St. Thomas Senator Athniel Bobby Thomas revealed that he will be donating the $1,000 his 2018 campaign received from Southern Trust. That money would go towards a youth basketball tournament that's coming up in August, according to the senator. Other lawmakers who reported receiving $1,000 from Southern Trust are Senators Donna Fred Gregory and Alicia Barnes. Fred Gregory stated in a press release she will be donating the amount to youth in the community, while Barnes said she was returning the money to Southern Trust via certified mail. Delegate to Congress Stacey Plaskett also said she will be donating the campaign funds she received from Epstein during her 2016 and 2018 campaigns. We will keep you updated. WAPA Executive Director Lawrence Kupfer recently appeared on Keeping It Real on the Go, a talk show with me. Kupfer addressed many questions covering a wide range of topics that were called into the show by concerned residents. Here's a portion of that interview. So one of the questions you mentioned, those generators that are very efficient, have small loads, can turn on and come full load pretty quickly. One of the questions is, why are we leasing those versus ownership for the authority?
And the ones in St. Thomas, the 21 megawatts of Wärtsilä, the authority owns those.
Okay.
So those are owned by the authority. And we are planning an additional 4 units for St. Thomas that'll be online by the end of next year. They will be HUD funded and they will be owned by the authority as well. In St. Croix, we had a unit that was damaged, our unit number 16, I think, or 18. And so we needed to replace that capacity very quickly. Mm-hmm. And that's why we went ahead with the Aggreko lease units. So even though you're leasing them, they're saving you a lot of money in fuel. You give some of that back in a lease cost, but it's still a net savings to the customer. And that's a 2-year lease. So it's not a long-term lease. It's a 2-year lease. We have an option for a 3rd. So that gives us time over these next 2 years to figure out what we're going to be doing in St. Croix in terms of owned generation. But eventually those lease units will be replaced with WAPA-owned generation over the next couple of years.
But overall, you're saying there's a net savings to the consumer
Yes.
with the operation of those?
Yes, even though you're leasing.
On St. Croix, Administrator Samuel Sanas and his team are tagging abandoned vehicles and entering them into a database for removal. As the lead for the Abandoned Vehicle Task Force, Sanas' office is working with both the public and private sector to identify, remove, and dispose of abandoned vehicles on each island in the territory. The administrators are urging vehicle owners to remove their abandoned vehicles or face fines of no less than $1,000. On St. John, Administrator Shakima Jones said her office will begin tagging 10 to 15 vehicles per month, working east to west across the island. Sanas and his St. Thomas Water Island counterpart, Avery Lewis, have begun tagging and entering abandoned vehicles into the database and expect to tag 20 to 25 vehicles per month. To report an abandoned vehicle, you should call 773-1404 on St. Croix, 776-6484 on St. John, and 693-4350 on St. Thomas. Turning our attention to the crime report, police on St. Croix are investigating a woman's decomposing body found inside a vehicle in Sunny Isles. On Friday, July 12th, a man reported his wife missing at approximately 11:36 a.m. at the Anselmo Marshall Command in Christiansted. The following day, around 12:30, a Ranger American security guard saw a beige Infiniti SUV parked close to the guard booth in the middle of Sunny Isles parking lot. The guard struck the window and no one responded, so he called 911. Responding officers then saw that there was a woman's body in full decomposition sitting in the vehicle's driver's seat. The body was removed from the SUV, transported to the Wang F. Louis Hospital, and pronounced dead on arrival. The husband stated that the last time he saw his wife was on Thursday, July 11th, around 9 a.m. when he left the house, and when he returned, she was gone. He said that she is an alcoholic and sometimes goes on binges, according to the police. The deceased was identified by her husband as 47-year-old Elizabeth Schaller. The cause of death is unknown pending the medical examiner's findings. If you have any information, call the number on your screen. You can also call 911 or Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS. Coming up next, what you can expect from the first ever Carnival USVI, plus an update from Governor Bryan on the status of live horse racing in the territory. We'll be right back. Commissioner of Agriculture, Positive T.A. Nelson, will host the first comprehensive medical cannabis conference in the U.S. Virgin Islands on Saturday, July 20th at the St. Croix Educational Complex from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. The conference, titled Carnival, will feature focus panels, seminars, and an opportunity to converse with knowledgeable speakers and professionals. The agenda includes a business and legal panel, medical cannabis panel, a seed to sale panel, and a hemp panel. There is a $25 admission fee. It's an opportunity for residents to learn more about this growing industry, according to event organizers.
Our goal is to empower and educate those in the territory, and making sure that locals are educated and know what opportunities are available to them so that they can take part in this industry. That's the whole intent of the cannabis conference, the medical cannabis conference that's being held on Saturday. That's the intent. We want locals to get the information and be empowered to know how they can move forward, the next steps. And that's going to be all shared at the cannabis conference.
You know, this isn't about smoking cannabis. This isn't about coming in. This is about true education and empowerment so people can build their own industry, so you can do your own research, so kids that are coming out of school can be entrepreneurs and excited about a new industry that's bringing health, most importantly, and while simultaneously bringing wealth, bringing a stable economy, bringing jobs, bringing innovations with Caribbean flares.
This event gives people the opportunity to meet people and see the different avenues and see the different possibilities that lie ahead. And so it's a really important time to get involved. You know, in an age where it's all about likes and followers, we need more leaders. And so this is an opportunity to come get educated and become a leader, to be the person in your neighborhood or on your block that has that information and that education and can really help people to become part of this. And for all the people that have carried the torch of cannabis even through Prohibition, this is an opportunity to come out of the shadows and to be part of this global movement and to be able to sleep safe at night and relax at night knowing that the law is actually on your side and that you're still doing the work that means so much to you.
Governor Bryan has stepped into the negotiations between the Virgin Islands government and VIGL, which holds the franchise for live horse racing in the territory. The effective date of the contract, which began during the MAP administration, does not begin until VIGL fulfills a number of provisions, including acquiring a Racino license and having all the permits and licenses in place for all horse racing facilities. According to Government House, the governor verbally put VIGL on notice that the company is in violation of its agreement with the government and gave them 30 days, a 30-day window to correct the situation. Here's more from the governor.
They actually don't have an effective date of their contract as yet. There are a lot of things that need to happen in order for the contract to be effectuated, including the issuing of a casino license, an approval by the Horse Racing Commission of live day racing events, and also all the permits are in place. So as governor, I think that horse racing is very essential to our economy, and it's almost become part of our culture here in the Virgin Islands. So in effort to move this forward, a couple of things were agreed upon. The government is actually going to be sending a letter to VIGL to tell them that they're in non-compliance with the contract, because as of today, we don't have a project management plan from them, which was needed to be executed within 30 days of the signing of the agreement. VIGL said that they had a meeting with Mr. Mapp, Governor Mapp at the time, who approved a plan that they put forth, but there's no official citing of that, and so we need that to happen within 30 days. We expect that VIGL will be compliant. We'll also be thanking them for their support of horse racing in the Virgin Islands. They've invested a lot of time and money in making sure that our tracks stay maintained. We have a temporary lease agreement with them at this point, which has been continued from the last administration, which allows them to do the things which they're doing, expanding the track, laying down the new surfaces that are needed to be raised. The Horsemen Association in both in St. Thomas and St. Croix expressed a great appreciation and thank yous to VIGL for all that they have done in anticipation of having an effective date for this agreement. So looking forward for horse racing, we're looking for things to happen pretty quickly. The Racing Commission has been given a mandate, once we get all of the board members on there, to have the actual rules and regulations done by September.
Just a heads up to our viewers, TV2 will be off air on Thursday, July 18th. The station will be down for some maintenance to make sure you continue to receive your favorite local shows without any hitches. We will resume broadcast on Friday. Again, TV2 is off air on Thursday. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
You're watching News 2. I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Paul Williams, and as you take a look at what's happening throughout the entire area, we are continuing to see just a small sliver of moisture that's sliding across the region in general. As far as trade wind influence is concerned, still staying relatively minimal at this particular juncture, with it staying pretty much calm. Now, this is actually the lull in the season as far as the tropical storm season is concerned for us. We're going into that lull, so we're not seeing much in the way of development because of the dust that's coming off the African coast. Now, we're seeing a scattered cloud cover pushing across out of Puerto Rico over towards SDR and over towards Haiti, but we're not seeing much in the way of scattered showers or thunderstorms developing and accompanying those clouds. Now, for tonight, we are expecting partly cloudy skies, not expecting a round of rain, but a little bit on the humid side with 80 degrees for the overnight low. St. John's, we are looking for a few showers here with 90 for the high for tomorrow with scattered cloud cover. Look for the clouds to begin to thicken up very quickly for us in St. Thomas. 90 for the high. We are going to expect a few showers here and there. Then in St. Croix, we're expecting 90 degrees. It's going to be a very muggy, steamy kind of day, even for St. Croix. And we're looking for a shower or two, particularly taking off right around the lunchtime hour and actually also during happy hour. We're looking for happy hour showers, actually. Take a look at your marine forecast. On the Atlantic side, the waves are between 3 to 5 feet. The winds are pushing out of the east at 15 to 20 knots. Now, as far as the Caribbean side is concerned, waves are between 2 to 4 feet. Winds continuing to push out of the east there as well at about 10 to 15 knots. Not much of a difference there from what we've had in the previous day or two. Here's a look at the extended forecast. A few showers on Thursday. Friday, a shower or two in place with some sun and showers for us on Saturday. Sunday, some sun with a quick developing spot shower possible for us. And then on Monday, we're looking for a shower or two. Now, mind you, the overnight lows will still stay at about 80 degrees for the next few days in a row.
And thank you for that. Coming up next, we have Gary Anthony with News 2 Sports, plus Alex Randall with his news and comments. We will be right back.
You're watching News 2. This is Alex Randall with News and Comment. You can tell the fish it's safe to come out now. We had the annual Bastille Day fishing tournament this last weekend, and the fish really got caught up in the fun. And for Northside Frenchies, this is the annual event to top all others. 168 fisher people came out to vie for the top title. Matthew Bryan spent the whole day tossing back little bitty fish until late in the day when he hooked a 43-pound kingfish. That won him top prize. Larry Aubain had the best captain. His boat brought in 6 kingfish, and best junior male was Kyle Odlum with 35 pounds of dinner. Alyssa Pearsall was the best junior woman with 13 pounds. And after the fishing came dinner, dancing, and music. I love the city of Charlotte-Amalie, whether you pronounce it Amalia or Amalie. It's a quaint old town. And according to Danish architects, we have more colonial Danish-era architecture than Denmark has. They tore theirs down. They built Danish modern. We did not. We preserved it, or at least most of it. Well, some of it. The problem is we allow our architecture to fall down, crumble to dust. Charlotte-Amalie could be the most beautiful historic town in the Caribbean, but instead, we've allowed treasured architectural homes to fall into ruin. Now, why? Well, probate, low taxes, lax laws, no rules that make owners maintain their property, and we don't enforce the public safety laws, so vagrants move into rundown historic properties. They become drug dens, then there's a fire, then history burns to the ground. A magnificent building on Lower Main Street crumbled to the ground. Now it's a parking lot. Sad fate. Architectural treasure turns into flat ground. Tourists don't come to see parking lots. Today's visitors looking for historic information and stunning architecture of years gone by. They want to continue. If we want to continue our tourism culture, we need to present a vibrant, sparkling downtown with immaculate structures, clean back streets, amazing stories about the infamous occupants. Now, you would think this would be easy to merge the emergency medical service into the fire service. It sounds simple. Move one bureau into the other. Move a $4 million EMS budget from the health department to the fire service. It should be simple. Not. What sounds simple is actually complex. And it's not just about moving ambulances to the fire station or reassigning personnel. There needs to be real integration of the first responders. And one huge problem is that there's a manpower shortage in both the fire service and the EMS. So administrators want to train fire service folks to do EMS work and vice versa. like you can solve the personnel shortage by teaching everyone both jobs. But the jobs are very different, and very few people can master both skill sets. What we really need is more trained people in the fire service and in EMS, and that's why it's not cheap. I told you last week the vendors at Coki Beach were hogging the whole beach, placing chairs everywhere, making the visitors pay per chair. They stopped. Folks from the Department of Sports, Parks, and Recreation went to Coki Beach and read the vendors the riot act. No putting chairs everywhere, no intimidating visitors. The beaches are all public in our islands. Everyone's welcome to sit wherever they want. Whenever Water Island's in the news, it's always last of the islands. No one pays any attention. St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, and what was that other one? As a resident of Water Island, I can tell you there's nothing there. 64 houses, one little strip of beach, 2 beachy restaurants, no stores, no gas stations, no mall, no sit-down restaurant, pretty much nothing. So when a hotel developer says they want to build a 6-star fancy hotel, it's news. Actually, it's old news. Water Island Development Company put forward a plan to develop a hotel back in the DeYoung administration. They got a 99-year lease to develop a hotel. Former Governor Mapp didn't like it. He sat on it and was idle for 4 years. Now Governor Bryan seems interested in hotel construction, and there's a glimmer of interest. The developers want some amendments to the hotel development law that would help them get financing. That could happen. And they say they want to bring in a top-end hotel chain. Imagine a Hilton or a Hyatt. They might even change the island's name. Imagine St. Ritz or St. Wyndham. St. Regis would be nice. Meanwhile, the new government water taxi system's gearing up. Havensite to downtown to Crown Bay to Water Island. 75 people per boat, 10 trips a day. You have to imagine 750 people a day added to the beach on Water Island. That hardly sounds like St. Regis. Thanks for watching. This is Alex Randall with News and Comment. Now back to Leslie.
Thanks for that, Alex. It's the Olympics men qualifiers in the territory, and Gary has the highlights. Gary?
I'm Gary Anthony, and this is News 2 Sports. The day has arrived. Beginning at 8 p.m. tonight, the Olympic men's soccer qualifier preliminary round kicks off with the U23 USVI soccer national men's team taking on Cuba at the new Bethlehem Soccer Complex on St. Croix. Everyone is excited for this opportunity, according to USVI team members and coaches.
Feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm really excited to be playing these formidable opponents like Cuba and Barbados, and I'm also super excited to be playing the new stadium, which is really exciting. It's the first time we've ever had a proper soccer stadium inside of the Virgin Islands, so I'm super pumped. The atmosphere is going to be great, and yeah, so I'm really excited about that.
Oh man, I'm super excited. It's the first time we've actually had like a U23 Olympic qualifying team, so I'm just happy and grateful to be a part of that team and just ready to go out there and give it my all, and hopefully we come out with the victory.
I think the heart that this team has, especially this young team, a lot of the guys, including myself, have been on the senior team, so they've kind of seen that level, and so they know what to bring, and so especially coming to this team here, I think they're bringing in a lot of heart, a lot of desire. We want to put the VI on the map properly.
What I like best about playing with the team is a lot of these guys I've gotten the chance to know since I'm school league, so I've had the privilege to be able to play with them and practice with them like after school and just get to know a lot of the guys.
This group I've had been able to work with since U15 to U17 to U20 and now U23. So I know most of these players, and to see they finally get a chance to play in the Virgin Islands at the international level, it's a first, and I'm so proud to be part of it.
I have a lot of trust on the boys, and there's a lot of potential, very talented players. So looking forward to get our first win in our new stadium.
Very excited, very excited. From the time I heard about it, I've been waiting, so I'm just very excited to finally step on the pitch and represent my country.
All games are at the new Bethlehem Soccer Complex in St. Croix. That's it for sports. Leslie, back to you.
Let's make sure we get that victory, guys. And that's it. Thank you for that broadcast. Gary, we made an error in our program earlier on. We said that TV2 will be off all day tomorrow. In fact, it's only going to be from 7 in the morning till 10 in the morning, so you could tune in to us later. Of course, you can catch us live on Facebook and YouTube and on via Channel 4 and 5 and 504 on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Follow us on social media, tag us on any stories you want to see on the news, or send us a message on Messenger. You can also email us at newsdirector@tv2.vi. Thanks again for joining us on News 2. I'm Leslie Camisiang, and we'll see you next time.